ओडिशा माननीय मुख्यमंत्री श्री मोहन चरण माझी, दिल्ली मुख्यमंत्री श्रीमती रेखा गुप्ता, श्री जुएल ओराम ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर, डिस्टिंग्विश्ड गेस्ट, आज यही पवित्र ओडिशा दिवस समारोह रे समस्त को सबु ओडिया भाई भौणी को मोर हार्दिक अभिनंदन। आज गौरवपूर्ण दिवस होउछि एक ऐतिहासिक दिवस एट फर्स्ट टाइम 1936 रे ओडिशा एक स्वतंत्र राज्य होइतला भाषा भित्तिरे। आज यही प्रतिष्ठा दिवस रे आमे सबू बहुत गर्व रे पालन करछु। आज मो पूर्वरु श्री जुएल ओराम और श्रीमती रेखा गुप्ता, ये दोनों का इतना इंस्पायरिंग स्पीच सुन के और बहुत अच्छा आपको लगा होगा। और आफ्टर लिसनिंग टू टू वेरी एमिनेंट political personalities, now listening to a bureaucrat may be a bit monotonous, because I cannot match their vigor, their excitement, and the way they can inspire people. The land of Odisha has been blessed with diverse art, culture, and a glorious history. Odisha's maritime and trade relations with the Southeast Asian countries such as Java, Sumatra, Bali and Borneo have a glorious legacy. Those activities date back to many centuries, the ancient times, and truly reflect the courage and enterprising nature of the seafaring warriors. They brought about socio-cultural assimilation and prosperity to the land of Odisha. Much before the reorganization of states in India on a linguistic basis, Odisha became a separate state based on the language, and that was on the 1st of April 1936. People of Odisha fought for several decades to make Odisha a separate state and to ensure that Odia language gets its pride of place. Many leaders have made efforts to create over the decades public awakening and igniting young minds to work towards formation of separate state. Authors, poets have enriched the Odia language. Many of those people who had sacrificed, who has brought pride of place to Odisha and Odia language, today we paid our homage to them. Their photographs are there on the dais. In 1903, the Utkal Sammilani was formed in Cuttack for the unification of Odisha and for protection and preservation of Odia language. It continued its efforts for many years. Some years late, earlier the Utkal Sabha was there. Not only Sri Madhusudan Das, many other leaders have made immense contribution to creating the Odia state, Odisha state, making a separate state, and also the Odia language. It is not only the Utkal Sammilani, there are several historical evidence that in other parts of Odisha, whether it is western or south Odisha also, there have been mass movements with the same objective. In fact, toward the end of the 19th century and the beginning of the 20th century, there was mass movement in Sambalpur and nearby areas for preservation of Odia language. Those days, Odia was not used in offices. They had discontinued Odia language for some time. There was a mass movement. In fact, I had by chance discovered a book those days. I am talking about the 1970s. Today it may be known to many people. There is a book entitled Simla Yatra. It's a book of a travel. It was, though, published much later than the Simla visit of 5 leaders to represent to the then Governor General Lord Curzon to make Odia as official language in Sambalpur and the adjoining districts, and also join it with Odisha. And that book was written by Sripati Mishra. It was published in 1918, but the movement was toward the end, another 2 decades before that. In fact, I didn't realize those days that it was so important. When I got the book that time, actually, that I was in Sundargarh, I wrote just a 2.5-page article, not a very long one, bringing out the historical significance and the literary value of that small book, short, and sent to a very prestigious magazine of Odisha, Jhankara. Those days, Dr. Hare Krishna Mahata was the chief editor of the magazine, and it was a very prestigious one with a very high standard, and promptly they published it. In fact, after that, many letters I received from Puri, North Odisha, South Odisha and all that, that it was a very good research, though I didn't do any research, I just summarized the book. It was a very pleasant experience. In fact, some years later, I discovered another book. It was written by Diwan of Mysore State. That was published in 1920 when J.S. Chakravarti wrote a book on agricultural insurance as early as in 1920, 15, 16. And that was something which he did those days. Japan and Germany were struggling on the subject, but it was again a major contribution to literature, and that I think these 2 discoveries one feels very greatly satisfied. Odisha has tremendous resources. It has a long tradition, cultural heritage. Pradhan Mantri Sri Narendra Modi has recently introduced in the budget, manuscript mission. I am told that a lot of old manuscripts are available in many parts of Odisha and other parts of the country also. I am sure that the government of Odisha and people of Odisha will participate in the manuscript mission, and so that all those old manuscripts are preserved, and it is important that we rewrite many parts of our history. I compliment Sri Mohan Charan Majhi, Chief Minister of Odisha. He has started well, focusing on infrastructure, physical and social. And of course, technology is also important today, and I hope the government of Odisha, and of course, Delhi also has a long way to go. And with the Chief Minister starting from the first day itself, whether cleaning of Yamuna or Delhi becoming less polluted, I think these are big challenges. Infrastructure is also extremely important for Delhi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi envisioned, he has said, Eastern India would become a growth engine in development of the country, and Odisha would play a key role in this, unquote. He has also said that Odisha is a symbol, I quote, Odisha is a symbol of the optimism and originality of the new India. Odisha is a land of opportunity, and people here have always shown the passion to outperform. With all these, much has been done during the last decade in the country, whether it is reform, whether it is economic growth, whether it is infrastructure. I am very sure now that Odisha and Delhi will join the mainstream, and the vision of the Prime Minister to make India a Viksit Bharat, a developed country, will also have Viksit Delhi and the Viksit Odisha also. And to conclude, I would like to congratulate Government of Odisha and all the distinguished people who are there, that we have a very good program today for the first time in Delhi. And finally, Sesare Muai Pavitra Avasarre समग्र ओडिशावासी को राज्यर सर्वांगीन उन्नति निमंते कार्य करने पाई आह्वान करुछि, जहा द्वारा ओडिशा एक समृद्ध तथा विकसित राज्य रे परिणत होई पारिबो। आपण समस्तन को शुभेच्छा and wish you all the best. Thank you.